Hello, everybody. Let me get my volume turned up here. How's everybody doing? It's Wednesday. Isn't that exciting? Are you guys all here? I'm a little, like, I don't know, some seconds early, I suppose. Let's see. Let me say hello to everybody. And oh, by the way, I'm Heather. Thank you so much for being here on my channel for Healthy Goals Wednesday. Gail is not here today. She's on a little vacation. So we will see her back next week, I believe. You guys are stuck with me. So hi Anne. Hello Lori. Let's see who else is here. Jan. Hello Jan. And Jennifer Ocean Homestead. Thank you guys so much for being here. So, today, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be talking about some of the things that we can do to prevent illness in the winter months. Um, and let me just do the thing that you have to do is I'm not a professional, I'm not an expert, and I'm just listing some things for you to do your own research and seek medical professional help when necessary. So, with all that said, I hope that you guys share in the comments some things that you use as well so that we can share information out and learn from each other stuff. I will be showing you guys how to start apple cider vinegar if you haven't done that yet or wanted to do that, or maybe it's a different way than you do it. I don't know. I'm just going to show you, but it's something that we can add into our day if you would like. So, how's everybody been? How's your last week been with all the things? I've been processing apples, still processing apples. Lots and lots of apples to process. We had went and got so our neighbor has an electric apple press machine. So quick, but yet still, I think we were there for 3 or 4 hours the first weekend. And then just we were just so hot and burning up and just, tired. The wasps, after they start getting the smell of the apples being squeezed, they start coming around and they don't really bother you much, but you have to be careful and mindful of where you put your hands. And then so I was processing apples for a whole week then, and I told my husband, I said, we still have way too many apples. We still had like a water, like huge, I don't even know how many gallons, water trough full of apples. So um, we asked if we could go back and make some more juice. So we did that, but I still have a ton of apples. So I don't need no more apple juice, no more cider. No. So I'm trying to do all the things apple. I'm trying to preserve them in several different ways with water bath canning, um, pie stuff, and what else am I doing? I'm freezing apples. Hi, Kathleen. Welcome in. What else am I doing? I'm taking the peels when I use my apple peel corer and different slices and stuff and freeze drying. So I'm doing freeze drying, regular freezing, and I've done applesauce. And so, yeah, just trying to get all that stuff done. So, um, been busy, been very, very busy trying to harvest things, collect seeds, and, do all that kind of stuff. Drinking my water. And so last week, my husband and my son were sick with something like fever, chills, body aches, and stuff like that. And so I kept having them take elderberry syrup. Um, I'm like, here you go, here's a shot of elderberry syrup. Have another. And then just like cooking like um, healthier meals with some different seasonings and stuff that might help boost and peppers and things like that that might help with the, the immune system and stuff like that. And um they're almost better now, a little lingering stuff, but not too bad. I haven't got it yet. So hopefully I don't. So far I feel okay. Like I've had a little bit of cough for a couple of days, like I don't know, a couple times a day. Not a big deal. So just keep doing the things, right? Okay, so I'm going to turn you down. Let's get started on making this apple vinegar. So let's see. Okay, how about that? You guys let me know if you can see. Okay, this is where, whoops, that's my tea. This is where we're going to be working right here. So these are the apples that I have left. Well, this isn't all the apples I have left, but they're yellow delicious apples. And we don't use any pesticides, herbicides, any sides or offsides on anything on our land because, we grow our own fruit. We have our cows, we have goats and chickens and, our herbs and gardens and stuff like that. So we don't want any chemicals whatsoever floating around here. Of course, you can't prevent if somebody else somewhere else does something and it blows over, but for the most part, farm fresh is what I'd call it. Anyways, I made tea, and in case you were wondering, my tea is it's kind of like a Hawaiian tropical blend, so it's just a bunch of like fruits basically that were probably freeze dried or something. Anyways, with a little bit of cinnamon. Oh yeah, get more trees. Oh my gosh, it's so delicious. I'm gonna put this up here and I'll probably forget about it. Hopefully not. Anyways, so I went ahead and I already cut up apples. You can use any kind of apples that you want. They're turned a little bit brown, but not that bad. This is water with some of that lemon. I'll show you. When you're processing apples and you're having to peel them and slice them and stuff like that, they'll turn brown if you just slice them and stick them on like your counter or whatever. But, use some lemon in the water, cold water, and it helps keep them looking nice. I go through quite a bit of that because usually I fill up this big giant bowl full of my cut up apples before I start putting them on trays and stuff like that. Yeah. Anyways, so what we're going to do is, since I have them in here, I have kind of like a ladle-like thing with little holes in it. And I'm going to try not to make a mess. Let me rinse my hands off real quick, just in case. They actually are sticky from, I put honey in my tea, so they're kind of sticky. Anyways, I'm not going to dry them off, but I think I'm going to do it like this. So these are, I think, gallon jars. A neighbor had given them to me long ago. Anyways, some of them had some lids, some of them didn't. Not a big deal. What you want to do is cut your apples up. You can do the cores too. I wouldn't put, excuse me, too many cores that have seeds. You don't want too many seeds in them. But what you're going to do is you're going to fill the jar up about a third of the way. A little bit more than a third, just because there's like a lot of air pockets, air space and stuff like that. And then you're going to put a cup of sugar. And yes, I know we don't want sugar, but sugar is what is going to feed this and make this your apple cider vinegar. So we're going to put a cup of sugar in there and just directly pour 1 cup in there. And I need just a pinch more because it was low. All right. And then you're going to pour water on there Um, I could my so during apple pressing, something fell off the apple press and chipped my pitcher that has the spout. And so what I'm using is a half-gallon mason jar with a little pour thingamajiggy. And you can get these online. But anyways, it helps pour. And I got these. So when I fill these up with milk, we can pour milk carefully. Hi, Tammy. Thank you for being here. I hope I didn't miss anybody. So then what we're doing next is we're filling this up a little bit, probably about half an inch from the rim with water. And I knew I was going to need more water, but that's fine. There's more water. And so what you're going to want to do for the best results is, I know it's a little bit time consuming, but every day you're going to want to go around and stir that sugar up and those apples up so that they're getting mixed around in the jar. And now that I have the water in there, I feel like I could put a few more apples in there, which isn't going to hurt. So essentially what you do is you leave them in there, stirring it around every day or two, right? And you're going to wait about 4 weeks. And then in 4 weeks, you can then strain all the apples and bits out through a cheesecloth or a really fine mesh strainer to have a more potent, stronger apple cider vinegar. You're going to want to leave them in here longer. So you can go longer, 4 weeks minimum, 8 weeks, some people might go a little bit longer than 8 weeks. It's up to you. But so then you'll strain all the apple bits out when you feel that it's ready enough for you. And then just store it in a smaller jar, which this will probably make somewhere between, I don't know, a quart, 2 quarts. 2 quarts. It just depends how big your apple slices are and stuff like that. So I need a little spoon. And again, just remember that you just kind of spin this around, get it all mixed up, give those other apples a chance to get in there and mix around, making your apple cider vinegar a little bit stronger. So what I did beforehand is I wrote today's date on here, and then I wrote 4 weeks out, 5, 6 weeks out. You don't have to do all that, but if it helps you to remember when you did this, it's a good idea. So then you'll take some kind of a cloth, a cotton cloth or a cheesecloth, and this is a pretty big one. But to keep the fruit flies out and stuff like that, don't put a lid on here because it needs to breathe. And you're just going to put a rubber band under the little ring lip under there to help keep it on. That's it. Stick it somewhere in your kitchen in the corner or something and just give it a stir every day. And then eventually you'll have your own apple cider vinegar. If a recipe calls for apple cider vinegar for like food storage and stuff like that, I would recommend that you buy apple cider vinegar from a store because they tested the pH balance in it. This, we do not really know what the pH balance is unless you have a pH balance tester. So there's that. And that's kind of about it. Pretty easy, simple to do. And then so we're going to talk about some tips to reduce illness during the cold season. So there's lots of things people do. And again, I'm not a professional, but sleep. Your sleep is very important. Like how much sleep. I know you guys can't see that and it's backwards. So my apologies. Sorry. Anyways, sleep. Number 2, water. Hydration helps keep things moving in your body. So, like, everything to function, like your brain, your heart, you know, everything needs water, right? So, making sure that you're hydrated daily and flushing out, helping your body to flush out the things that your body doesn't need. Food. Food is important, and fresh, or at least if you can't get fresh, less processed foods in your meals every day. Um, Getting rid of the sugars. The sugars will help break down your immunity and make you feel more tired and weak and more susceptible to maybe getting some of the things. Mhm. And movement. Number 4, walking, exercising daily. What does it look like for you? Are you moving? And it depends. Like, if you're physically capable of walking multiple times a day or one long time a day, every day. I mean, you need to do these things every day. If you can't walk, what kind of exercise can you do? If you're in a chair or limited movement, what can you do sitting down? You got to keep things moving and flowing. So we have lymph nodes in our body, and most of our lymph nodes are from here up, right in this area, right? And the lymph nodes, when you don't hardly do any movement, they kind of just like cluster together and not do their job. So when you're doing movements, like say a rebounder or exercise or walking, doing all the things that you can do to be as healthy as you can, makes those lymph nodes expand, moving around. And then when you have some sort of like infection or something going on, like you sprained your ankle or something, right? A surgery or whatever, they then go out and they try to help heal your body. But if you're not doing much movement, they stay bound up, right? Does that make sense? So you want to get your body moving. Yes, there's a vibration pad. It's like a square pad. I have a rebounder, so it doesn't make much sense for me to get one of those, but there's a pad and you can sit in a chair with your feet on it and it vibrates and it stimulates your lymph node areas all over your body, or you can stand on it. There's all kinds of things you can do, but it's like just a pad. So if you're somebody who's limited on being able to walk and stuff like that, and you need to use a walker or a counter to keep your balance, you can stand on that. It doesn't take very much time. I think it's like, well, it depends. Like on a rebounder, it's like 10 minutes and they all might vary. Hi, Troy, welcome in. Um, so I think maybe 10, 20 minutes. It depends what the company you get it from says. But yeah, those can activate your lymph nodes and get those moving and circulating. Like sometimes if, you know, I don't know, there's lots of things. So movement also, when you wake up in the morning, and for me, this is just for me, I don't have TV on in my room. We don't have a TV. Well, we did, but it doesn't work anymore. Um, and we don't plug our cell phones on in a room. So that's one thing that can help. You get a better sleep, at least a better sound sleep. But when you get in bed for the night, you want to like turn your wrists and your ankles around several times doing stretches, right? And the first thing in the morning when you get up, you need to do that too, right? You need to stretch. You don't just bounce out of bed and let's go. You need to be mindful of your body and give it that, you know, adjustment period to stretch. I mean, you've been laying there for how many hours, right? So that's something to think about. Positive affirmations for you, people in your home, and when you're out and about, like the store etc. So if yeah, I think you've all been here from the beginning of Healthy Goals Wednesday, and we did the little post-it notes. Here, hi. We did the little post-it notes like I'm amazing, you're amazing, smile, all the different things. I can do it, you can do it. Positive affirmations are something that we all need. We don't always get a chance to hear it from others, right? So we need to say it to ourselves. And at first, you're like, yeah, that's weird. But as you keep saying it, you're like, yeah, I'm amazing. Heck yeah. You start, I'm amazing. You just make fun with it. Stick something on your refrigerator, your bedroom door, your bathroom door, your mirrors, your front door, your car, of these little notes reminding yourself, you got this, you can do this, stuff like that, right? And also, if there's people living in your home with you, practice using those words to the people in your home as well, because they need to hear it. And by them hearing it, you're more likely to be getting it in return. Saying, and it doesn't have to be those just couple things. You can make up a list of positive words to use with each other. You know, when you're at a store or something, it's nice to say, "Hey, that's a cute hat," and they're like, "Oh, thanks," and then they think about it for quite a while, and that makes them feel good. And you're like, that feels good to give a compliment to somebody, and smiling. Make sure you smile many times a day. That helps um, everything, mental, physical, and everything. Setting goals. Setting goals is also important. Having short term goals and long term goals. You can write it on a piece of paper. Now, Mountain Grandma Tammy and Lisa on their live on Tuesdays were talking about how they posted on the refrigerator of different goals for people in the house to work on together, and that's helping them. And so that's like a really positive thing. So if you have like things that need to be done, even if they're simple, like I need to clean the bathroom on Tuesday, make yourself a list, a goal. Okay, Tuesdays, and then every Tuesday you clean. I'm just using this for example. I clean the bathroom. Every Wednesday I do a craft for 1 hour. Every Thursday I don't know, something, but you're exercising and everything. Like you don't have to put everything on the refrigerator. You can have your personal stuff, and then you can have the stuff that if you live with somebody else that like, hey, you know what? We need to stack the wood. I can't stack it by myself. I don't know, just an example. Things like that. So, having short term goals, so like that daily, weekly, monthly goals, and then your long term goals. Maybe you do it seasonally, fall, winter, spring. I have to clean the windows. When do you want to do that? Do you want to do it in the fall? Do you want to do it in the spring? The gutters, like, this long term goals, plan them out. And another thing is I was thinking about all this stuff in my head last night is a vision board. So a vision board, if you don't know, you guys probably already know, is like a poster board of whatever size you want. And you put you in the middle, just you could write me, right? And then you can put your short term goals with little lines going out from that word me in the middle. And it could be walk 10 minutes today, walk 10 minutes 3 days a week. And then you can cut out like out of magazines or something like that and glue pictures. I want to learn how to make bread. I want to um, learn how to clean my toilet. I don't know. Just what you want to learn, what you want to accomplish, just the things. And so they're like reminders to help you be like, okay, keep moving forward every day. Every day, make a step forward. Yeah. So Tammy says, Yep, the fridge for her and her hubby, combined homestead goals and personal ones are separate. Mhm. I got in 300 steps and haven't left the house, just at work. That's awesome. And so, yeah, smile daily. So, those are just a few of the things that I thought I'd write down. I didn't want to get too carried away with too many things, but those are all like really important things that we should be looking at daily and working on daily, I think, to help keep our mental, physical, and everything flowing and going. And that doesn't always help with preventing illnesses during the cold season, but it may shorten an illness if you get one, right? I'm making homemade chilies with veggies fresh from my garden. 3,000 steps. Did I say 100? Sorry, Bob. That's 3,000 steps. That went really quick. So, do you guys have, like I said earlier, elderberry syrup? I make that. And, we don't drink it 7 days a week unless, we have something that we feel like, when you feel tired and weak or something, we drink more. I don't know. Heather, there's a fly. Hubby and I were eating too much sugar before we got sick, and you're right. We think that sugar is what caused us to get sick. It does. It breaks down your immunity. So, you want to, I mean, of course, have some sugar every now and then. Wrap these apples in some caramel and have one, but don't be eating it every day, you know? Have one once a week, twice a week, or a couple days out of the week because it's in the season or whatever, you know? But then move forward to healthier things. I was thinking I should do some more apples and do this other one. I don't know. Well, considering that only makes like a quart to 2 quarts, maybe I should make two. I've been between 3,000 and 6,000 steps a day, depending on what I'm doing. That's awesome. So, that going to talking about the steps. So, if you're somebody who does, I don't know, the steps to the bathroom, the steps to the kitchen, and that's about it, and it's like 100 steps, let's just say, for your whole day, and you start doing 150 steps a day, that's going to be a significant improvement in the steps that you're doing every day for you. When they talk about you must do 10,000 steps, it depends on your age. It depends on what your activity currently is, right? So don't get stuck on thinking that you have to have a certain amount of steps. Like Bob, if he puts in, 3,000 steps every day at least, that might be way more than he used to do. And it's working for him. Like it's getting his body moving. He's starting to get stronger, more muscle, maybe, stuff like that. We also have all the herby things, but we've had to change up the herbs through the course of this virus. Infused garlic and elderberries with honey is good for you, and of course, a fire starter. Yep, don't forget the goldenrod. Yeah, I think Tammy has a lot of goldenrod if I remember correctly. But yeah, just, everything with moderation. I think also like if you think about it like your your herbs, if you're constantly doing the same herb over and over every single day, right? Your body's going to be like, yeah, it's good. I like it, but I need a little something different. You got to switch it up a little bit. Kind of like when you use shampoo in your hair. You're like, oh, my hair's like clean every time I wash it. It feels great. And then all of a sudden, it's not doing the thing. You got to switch it up for a little bit and then go back to it. Yeah, that's awesome. That's just in your house and in your yard. See? Oh, yeah. It's unbelievable how many steps that you do. My problem is I had one of the little step thingies, and every time I would be trying to keep track of my steps, I'd have it on my pocket, and I'd like lean against something or something and then reset. So, um, and then my phone, I don't always have my phone, everywhere. Oh, I can added some fresh root and onion. Did you guys know that if you save the paper skins from the outside of an onion and put them in a paper sack, just the paper part, I don't know if I have any. Anyways, you save them in a paper sack and then you can drink them in tea, and they have lots of good herbal, good benefits as well. So look that up. Yeah, not do it like Tammy. Tammy works at home. So is she getting 10,000 steps in? Depends on how much she goes to the bathroom, but not just kidding. But that's not like a set figure for any individual. Now, if Tammy's used to doing like 100 steps during the day and she's doing 300 steps every other day, then that's an improvement and that's going to be better. You just want to keep trying to improvement. The onion thing. Oh, the paper part on the outside of the onion. Hold on, let me see if I have one that still has them. Okay, I got one. Okay, so this little paper stuff that's on the outside of your onion, throw that in a paper bag and then you can drink it for tea. I always wonder, I'm really curious all the time how tall people are whenever I see them on a live or a video. Because it looks like when people are sitting down that they're all like the same ish. Anyways, so yeah, so that's one thing that you can add. Um, Maybe going and getting tested to see if you have any deficiencies, um, vitamin wise, in your body. So you kind of know, you know, that's something to look for. Eating purple vegetables, purple foods in general, that's something that can be healthy for you. Um, Make sure you do your research if you're on medication. I don't know. I take garlic, ginger, cinnamon, beetroot, magnesium, cayenne, turmeric, and a black pepper every day. Nice. I have lots of cayenne that I grew this year. I'm letting them dry out. I'll go grab them. So there's my little cayenne peppers. I don't want to tip it too much. So they're not dry yet. Some of them are. But I'm going to take the seeds out of them and I'm going to plant a lot, hopefully, next year. That's the goal. Um, I mix onions with raw garlic and cover it with honey. Yep, that's a good one. Yeah, you can ferment it in a jar. Do you do that, Bob? where you put the raw garlic in a jar topped with honey and the onions, or having two of them. Have Make sure you ferment it because that'll be even more beneficial. And that's just sitting on your counter in the honey. So, have you guys made apple cider vinegar ever before? Okay. So, dice them up and stick them in a jar and cover it with honey and just leave the jar on the counter with a lid on it. And then you can just take a spoon out of it because it'll ferment and all the stuff will mix into the honey and the honey will mix into those, and try that. I know, I want to get some sour sop leaves to make tea. You couldn't hear me before? Where'd I go? Hi, Robin. Yeah. Yeah, it's good, like, taking spoonfuls of honey. I mean, of course, you don't wanna, like, overdo the honey because it is sugar even though it's a natural sugar. Well, if it's raw, unpasteurized. So good. So, I don't know. So, have you guys been out and about and doing things, preparing for the, winter? It got super cold here. All of a sudden, it was like 80 degrees, and I'm like dying and ready for it to cool down. And now it's like 38, 36, 38 at night. Quite a difference. And like in the upper 40s during the day. The grass is already starting to turn green, which is nice to see. Oh, and Sunday, was it Sunday or was it Saturday? I can't remember now. Saturday or Sunday, this past weekend, uh, we had a mama cow. Her name is Ruby Cow. She had a baby. I was walking around in the orchard because I always I like walking in the orchard, and I always look at like what things that I need to clean up or pick or this or that, you know. And um lovely cow, my black cow that I've had longest, I call her a honk. She's like, "Ugh." It's kind of like her honk, like something's different, mom. Come look. And so I'm like, what's going on? And I see Ruby Cow on the other side of the pasture standing over there. And I'm like, what is she doing over there? Everybody's over here. Like, mm. And then I'm like, wait a minute. I see extra legs. What is happening? And I'm like, oh my gosh, she had a baby. So she had this little baby, like just had it, like, and it just was standing up, and I barely missed it. And Lovely was over there trying to tell me, honk, honk, mom, somebody's having a baby. And so I was like, I just thought she wanted some apples or something. Well, this baby, I don't know if it's a boy or a girl yet. We'll have a gender reveal party. I'm just kidding. Maybe. I was like, oh, I should do that. Anyways, the baby is on its back. When you look from its head all the way down to the tail, it's red and white perfect stripes like a bee. So I thought Bumble. So, anyways, Ruby is a big cow. She's so big. She's like beefy. Anyways, we thought that she just didn't get bred and there was going to be no baby because we intentionally breed at a specific time so that the babies are all born within like about 4 or 5 weeks of each other. So it's done because, well, there's a whole process of why we do it. But anyways, yeah, we just thought she just didn't get pregnant, and then there's a baby, and I'm like, yes. So it's good. I don't know if it's a boy or a girl. I'm aiming for probably a boy because it's big. It's a big baby. I mean, it's little, but it's big for a newborn. So yeah, Bumble. I thought that would be cute. So I'm trying to, it's hard to get pictures because I don't want to go in there because Otis is in there. And I don't want him to, okay, Otis loves to be scratched and rubbed and he's good, but there's a fence between us. If I go in there, he's going to be like, Mom, Mom. My husband actually found that out when COVID first hit. He was washing out the water. Otis had feed at the other end, and he was eating, and he's like, "Oh, hey, there's my dad," and he runs over to Dad, knocks Dad down. Dad got a hematoma the size of a softball here, and broke his sternum. Yeah, so that was a nice trip to the ER. During COVID. And my phone died, completely died, lost everything on my phone. It's so fun. Yes. Anywho, but so we're careful with him. Um the girls like Lovely, oh my gosh, Lovely is like attention. She loves attention. So does Otis. I don't know. So anyways, they're fine. They usually kind of pretty much stay away and mind their own business. They don't really care. And Otis really doesn't care either, but he might want to come like, ugh, come scratch my back. So Otis was a bottle baby. I got him when he was probably about 60 pounds, and I brought him home in my hatchback. I think that's what you call it, four-door Suzuki. Yep, I had a cow in my car. Could you imagine me trying to fit Otis in the car again? There's no way he would fit. He's ginormous. I don't know. So now we're just randomly talking unless, yeah, he thinks he's a puppy. Yeah. Anyways, his mom didn't want him. And so that's why I got him. And he was a bottle baby. And so I had to bottle feed him. And anyways, yeah. So he is very friendly. He's just, oh, hey, there's Mom, there's Dad. And I did a short yesterday and it picked the picture for me because I don't know how to change pictures for shorts. When you, I don't know how to do shorts. I know how to do videos, but not shorts. The picture is his eyeball and his face with his big eye right there. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And I'm like, oh well. But he wouldn't leave me alone. And I'm like, Lovely, go on. Otis, go on. I'm trying to look at the baby. And they wouldn't leave me alone. Farm life. I thought it would be fun if I could have somebody follow me around to record my day. And just record when they need to record, not when I'm going to the bathroom or something weird. Just the shenanigans and stuff like that happens, the things that I say would be kind of funny. Maybe. I don't know. So, yeah. So, oh yeah, has everybody who's joined into the Fall Fest been checking to make sure if their names have been picked or not? People are picking Every day there's semifinalist winners. So if you're a semifinalist winner on a channel, then that gets sent on to Gail, and Gail takes all the semifinalists, and that'll go on a wheel for the grand prize winner. But there's also going to be other prizes during her live on the 31st at 4 p.m. I think that's right. Anyways, there's like other gifts that are going to be given away on there as well. I just told her that I was going to do a fall apron and a Christmas apron, two different things. So those will be there. I don't remember. I don't know. I don't remember what else. There's other stuff, lots of other stuff, I believe, but I don't know what. I can't remember. um, yeah. Oh, hi, Tamara. Welcome in. I think I saw you scroll by earlier, and I don't think I said anything. Sorry. You know me, yammering, talking. The other day, this is funny. Where were we? Oh, I went grocery shopping with my husband. So, which is not, I haven't been grocery shopping in a long time. I used to be the one that did it all the time. And then just things got weird, and he decided, because the store we go to is close to his work. Well, now it's not because he's working somewhere else. So we're going on the weekend now. And on the way home, he goes, I need to stop at the gas. He named the gas station. I need to stop here. And I'm like, what for? And he's like, well, I need to get a fill. And I'm like, well, why not Carl? And he turned and looked at me like, did you lose your mind? And then he started laughing. And he's like, that's why I love you. He said he needed to get a fill, and I'm like, why not Carl? Okay. Inside funny joke, maybe. It was really funny. Anyways, I do things like that all the time. I'm corny. So I still need to make my video. Oh, Saturday, I also went to a free rummage sale. And the rummage sale was, and on the ad they put like there'll be fabric, plastics, and all sorts of stuff like that. And I'm like, well, I'll go check it out. Free rummage sale. So is it free to get in and then you buy stuff? So I had no clue, right? And so I put the address in. And I'm like, why not? I don't really leave anywhere much. And so I go, and it's like about a 25-minute drive. And I get there, and there's two ginormous warehouses, like huge, right? And they have signs, and there's people lined up, and I'm like, holy smokes. So I brought bags because I didn't really know what was happening or what I needed to do or anything. And so I get in line, and a bunch of ladies had bags, and I'm like, should we bring our bags in? I didn't want to seem like, and they're like, yeah, bring your bags. And I'm like, hold my spot. So I went, I got my bags, and I went back, and I had all these like plastic bags, and we're in line, and they let us in, and I'm like, holy smokes. So half of the warehouse had like styrofoam, like mannequin pieces, like legs and different things. And there was tables that had zippers and zipper pulls and cottons and linens and silks and laces, and wow. And I'm like, wow. And so I'm being me, and I'm like, I'll take two, and then I move along because I don't want to be rude, right? And I kept going around and around. I see people stuffing boxes and bags, and I'm like, maybe I'm doing this wrong. So I go back by like the zippers and the zipper pulls, and I'm like taking like a little bit more. I'm like, okay. And I still left some because I'm not like to take all of it. And then next year I'm getting more if they do it again. It sounds like they do it every year. So then when I leave, I got a lot. Then when I leave, I look up the place, and the place is actually they do theatrical like costumes and puppets and like those big stage puppets where there's like a bunch of people being like a dragon or something. They make all that stuff for like theater stuff all around the whole world. And I'm like, wow, that's cool. So I was thinking, wouldn't it be fun if I could just hang out there for a week and just like be like really quiet and just watching them work and seeing how they do stuff? Yeah, I was like, wow, so cool. But yeah, that was fun. Very fun. All the ladies were there. They were nice. And there was a few times where I had like these bags in both hands, and I'm like, "Excuse me," to the lady behind me as we're like moving. I'm like, "Do you see that over there?" I'm like, "If I bend over, I might fall over. Could you get that for me?" I, I did that a couple of times. I'm like, because if you put your stuff down, people are gonna think, oh, that's stuff that we can go through and take. Yeah, pull up a trailer and just yeah, people were getting like these square plastic things, like trying to think of how big that was, like 2 feet by 2 feet, right? It was clear plastic and it was like a soap mold, but 2 feet by 2 feet. I don't know what they used it for, but like stuff like that and like forms of like ginormous turtles and stuff like that. It was really cool. So I have like a little some a little bit of video, and then I wanted to show you all the stuff that I got. So it's like it's all brand new stuff. No smells to it, no, nothing on it or anything. It was their remnants from the whatever jobs they did for the year, and they're cleaning house to make room for, their new projects and stuff. So, pretty cool. Yeah, that was so cool. Yeah, they had I don't know, just so much stuff that they used for costumes and stuff. I have so many zippers. It's crazy. So many zippers. And I'm like, yes, score. Mm. Oh, and embroidery thread, or not embroidery thread. Oh God, what is the thing called? The sewing machine that has all the threads on it. Oh, I forgot the name of it. I'm borrowing one right now. Anyways, it takes specific threads that are like bigger spools of thread. And I saw those and I'm like, oh, whoa. So I take like 6 of them and I go around and around and around. I kept going around and around and around and around, looking at all the stuff and taking a little here and a little there. And I don't know. I might have like 30 or 40 of them now. Yeah, Serger. Thanks. So, anyways, that was my adventure. Yes, Serger. So I have threads of the spools, like of multiple colors. I'll show that in the video in your near future. Anyways, yeah, so that was really cool. I liked it. It was fun. So currently still processing apples, but I'm utilizing everything except for the cores. Those get compost. Well, I'm utilizing those too. Compost. So the skins I'm freeze drying. So I use them on my apple peeler core. So it does like a little spiral of the skin. So those are getting freeze dried for some different projects in the future. Yeah, I'm trying to think ahead, like 10 steps of everything that I do ahead. What can I like? Do I need this for this or that? Or like, how can I make that? I don't know. That's how my brain works. So, yeah, I've got a lot of work to do in the gardens. They're a mess. I still have stuff that I need to trim and cut. Yeah, lots of lavender to cut. I have 70 white lavender plants, and they're like bushes, and I need to cut a third of those off. But I'm not getting rid of them. They're not going in the compost. I'm going to make something. Anyways, lots of stuff to do. I did trim my rosemary because my rosemary is like ginormous. I trimmed it, but it doesn't look like I trimmed it. And I have a 4x8 window screen that I have those laid out on dry. So I have to get those all put into containers. Yeah. So So are you guys doing any projects currently or getting excited about some projects? Oh, Tammy at Mountain Grandma and Lisa are doing a soap making collaboration. Just tag Tammy and Lisa in a video if you choose to make one. You can do, hot process, cold process, melt and pour. If you've never done it, do it. I've only done melt and pour, and I've done a lot of things with melt and pour. And I have the stuff to make the cold process. I think it is. So I got to get that done. So I got to do that. I have lots of different molds. Actually, do I still have my mold over here? Hold on. I don't know. I think I put it with the rest of my molds, but it's like honeybee, like little honeybee molds. Also, like if you go to garage sales, thrift stores, online, stuff like that, you can get silicone molds. Baking area of stores a lot of times has different molds during the holidays and stuff like that. Be looking if you're into holidays. I mean, snowflakes or stuff, things that you like. Cold process. I know I need to do it. I know I have all the stuff to do it. I just need to do it. Yeah. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out if I want to do a loaf or some smaller molds. Well, I'm gonna do a milk and honey soap. Why not? Let's see. Oh, you can also use the soap molds for candles. So if you take carefully with some scissors or a knife, you can put a little hole on the bottom of your silicone mold, just a little tiny slit, and you can put your string for your candle through that hole, pour your mold, and then when your wax sets, tip it over, and you've got your candle wick. Actually, Tammy, I would love a recipe if you have one that has some milk and honey in it. Yeah, so you can do that. January. Oh, yeah, candles are in January. So I was just mentioning that you could use and your what was I going to say? Your soaps won't leak through that little tiny microscopic slit that you put your candle string through. You'll just push it through carefully, you know. Anyways, very careful. But yeah, I have a friend that makes molds, and I'd really love for her to make me a mold, but there's this thing that I put at the end of my videos that's a cow bee, and I would like somebody to make me maybe a 3D image of that cow bee. And then my friend could, or I could probably do it if I asked her how, make a mold to make my own candles and soaps with that little image, which I thought would be cute. But okay, cool. Thank you, Tammy. So drink your water, all the things that we went over: sleep, water, food, movement, positive affirmations, because that's good for your mental, crafts, goals, having short term and long term projects, whether they're crafting, baking, cooking, exercising. It's up to you. Sit down and figure that out this week, some of that stuff, and schedule it out. And your goals and your schedules can change. Something comes up, you can alter it, you can change it, you know. And it's the whole aspect of everything is, you don't do it right or you can't get to it, move forward. Don't like leave it behind in the dust and I'll do it next New Year's. No, just be like, okay, I didn't do it yesterday, I'm doing it tomorrow or today, whatever, right? So I'm going over. So sorry. Thank you guys so much for being here with me. I hope I didn't bore you jibber jabbering. Hope you learned something. And it was fun. And I thank you guys for being here. And hopefully, Gail will be here next week. I think so. So she's having a good time. So, um, yeah. So, everybody have a wonderful week. I'll see you around. Don't forget Fall Fest. Don't forget soap, making soaps. And I'll see you guys next Wednesday, either on Gail's new channel or mine. We'll post it so you guys will know where to go. So I will see you next week. Have a good day or evening.